Hey everybody, this is Chrono Joel here, and I thought I would do a little tutorial video on how I go about making my LPs. I'm doing this specifically for a friend of mine who just got started on a brand new computer with the software that I use on it, and I know it can be a little daunting when you first get started on something new, so I thought I'd put a video up to give her an idea of what's going on. I'll try not to talk too fast. I tend to talk fast when I'm explaining stuff, and I know that's not good and easy to follow along, so I'll try and take it slow. So the first thing is, I'll explain the software I use. First software I use for the video editing is this program right here. It's called KDEnLive. It runs under KDE, which is itself a window manager for Linux. That is probably wildly inaccurate, but we're running Kubuntu right now, and that is what she is running. So yeah, KDE. It runs under every Ubuntu variant I've ever tried, even non-KDE, but a lot of the themes don't work in anything but KDE, so all that is neither here nor there, and it's rather confusing, and it's irrelevant for the purposes at hand. We use KDEnLive to create our videos. So to complement KDEnLive, I have this other program called Audacity, and that is what I use to do my audio editing in. Audacity is open source and free and very powerful. I'm actually using it to record the audio for this recording right now. So I will pull that up. I've actually already got one of those pulled up that has the audio from the LP I just recorded in it. The other complementary software I use a lot is the GIMP image manipulation program. GNU image manipulation program is what GIMP means. And it is like Photoshop, only not Photoshop, and also free and not as pretty, but whatever. So we're going to start by opening up KDEnLive, and you get a nice bouncing little icon there, show it's opening, and here it is. This is the main window. We'll go ahead and embiggen it to the whole screen. I've got a window set saved here, so let's pull this down. This is our clip monitor area. There's actually three tabs here. There's the clip monitor, there's a project monitor, and there's a record monitor. We're not going to worry about the record monitor right now. We have the effects stack right over here. Let me make this bigger so that it's wide. There we go. This is where our effects will be listed. We have our timeline right here. My default settings give me a video 1, a video 2, a video 3, and 2 audios. And this is my project tree. And this is where our clips will hide. Now, when you're first getting started, your project tree will probably be right here, and it will look a lot more similar to this. Each of these sections can be freely moved, so I put mine down here so that I can have my widescreen clip and project monitor right here. The video we're actually editing is a DOSBox game, a old game called EGA Trek, and it's you see our clip, or our project here is HD 1080p 30 frames per second. We recorded at 30 frames per second, but this DOSBox game is not, you know, 1080p nothing. It's like 320 by 240 maybe. So we're gonna go to our project options, project settings, and we're gonna pick something a little more better. YouTube, which is where these videos will go, have 360p, 480p, 720p, and 1080p. I'll go ahead and put that video up at 480p. Now, you're not gonna, probably don't see 480p in this list anywhere. And the reason why is because it's not called 480p. That is DVD widescreen NTSC. The size is 720 by 480. The frame rate is 30,000 frames for every 1,001. I don't know, whatever. It's 29.997 or 29.97 frames per second. 16 to 9, color space I don't worry about. Oh, this says interlaced. We want interlaced. Hold please. I'm gonna have to just type this crap in. I might just take a 720. Just to make life easier for me. Can I do VGA? What does that look like? 640 to 480? Yeah, we can do that. Progressive. Okay. We're gonna say okay. So we see our 640 by 480 square in here. Now what we're going to do is import our clip. I recorded this clip just a few moments ago. So all you have to do is drag and drop from your file explorer into the project. It pops up an error that says your clip doesn't match the current profile because the clip is 1280 by 1024. That's okay. And the reason why that's okay is because the actual game window itself is a window inside of this, and I'm going to show you some cool effects on how to just take a portion of the screen that you want and only use it for your video. So, I'm going ahead and pulled that in. Now, the other thing that's going on is I have the audio that I made from that clip right here. Now you're gonna hear this play back a little bit. We'll go ahead and start it over here. Okay, so you're supposed to be hearing this playback of this clip here, and we're talking about the noise level. Unfortunately, you don't actually get to hear the clip because you cannot play back on Audacity and record from Audacity at the same time. So what we're doing here is we're zooming in on the line there, and we're seeing that it's not completely silent there. That is noise. So what we're going to do is a nifty trick called noise reduction. So go up here, click on that button there, and go down to noise removal. We've selected a section of just noise, so right there is just noise. So we're going to click on Get Noise Profile here, and that's going to get that noise profile. Noise removal is actually a two-step process. We tell the program what is noise that we don't want in the video or in the audio clip, and we go back to here and accept the default values here. Make sure that we're removing noise and not isolating it. Hit OK. And I forgot to highlight the entire video, our entire clip, instead of just that section, so we got to go back and remove noise again, and it sits there and processes and gyrates until it's removed all the noise. And once it's removed all the noise, we'll be able to see that that noise level has been almost completely and entirely removed. So that's the noise reduction. We're going to go ahead here in just a second and export this clip out as a sound file, which we're then going to import back into KDEnLive. Okay, so now that we have our sound for our LP audio removed, and I'm sorry, now we have the noise for our sound removed, we can go ahead and pull it into our KDEnLive. Let's see here, it is right here. We'll pull that in right here. So we got, it's 24 minutes long, 55 seconds. The video is 24 minutes, 56 seconds. I think that's because I started the video up before I started the audio recording. but fortunately I know I've got some I know I have an audio and video cue, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag the whole clip into my project tree for video and grab my whole clip for audio as well. Whole clip for audio as well. Now I'm going to actually offset the video and then find the spot in the video. Actually, you know what? There's a better way to do this. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to find the spot in the video that we want to insert at a certain point in the audio. And I know what point that is, and I actually may be sitting right on top of it, right there. So we're watching. Mouse cursor goes up, clicks on that, and I'm talking, but you can't hear it because there's no talking to be heard. Okay, I see what's going on here. Notice how the video seemed kind of jerky. This is going to do this on your computer if it is not a beefy like i7 computer, which you probably don't have. I know my friend doesn't. So what's going on there is the video is 2 mini pixels and at a high compression rate, so that it can't play inside the editor in real time, and it comes out jerky. If you had sound directly recorded with that, the sound would be jerky as well, and it's almost unusable. So you're thinking, well, what the heck good is the software then if that's unusable like that? Well, they know that sometimes people don't always have the best hardware, so they introduced a cool thing called Proxy Clips, and that is not checkable because I need to change my profile. So we'll go up to Projects, Project Settings, check this box here to enable Proxy Clips. You can make it generate Proxy Clips automatically for videos and images larger than a certain size. I should probably start doing that, but I don't. I do it all manually. So we're going to say OK here. That will enable me to come over here and right click this and check this Proxy Clip button. This says one job. Click on that, cancel, OK. So what it's doing now is in the background it is converting this video from its super high resolution version into a low resolution, lower bitrate version that the computer will then use as a substitute for your editing. So it will take all your windows up here will be blurry and gross looking and at a low resolution, but when you actually go to render the project, when you're finally done, it will go and use the high resolution sources instead of the low res ones, and your project will come out looking beautiful. And it works great, trust me, I know, because I use it all the time. So it's actually going to take probably a little while on my computer. I mean, you see that bar moving up real slow. So I am going to pause this video while that finishes, and then I will come back and we'll get started again once it's all over. Okay, so now our computer is finished turning the high resolution high quality picture into a low quality proxy clip. You know this is done because the little job thing is gone from right here, and there's a P right here by this. That indicates that there are proxy clips for this particular file. Now we can go in here and uncheck proxy clip, and it turns this back into its high definition, high resolution version. And we can go ahead and recheck it, and it goes right back. Doesn't have to go in and recreate proxy clips after it's already done it once. So what we need to do now is align our audio with our video. Now there's this particular spot in this video at the beginning that I created a visual cue for myself to know to line audio up to that, because I knew I was recording my video and audio into separate files. So we're going to hit play on this and hope we can see it. And it's when that mouse goes up to the top of that play button and hits play. So we're going to pause it right when that happens. Right there, it just happened. You can see the shadow pop up. So, we've got our project marker currently at 47 seconds, 5 frames. That is where I want to insert my audio at a specific spot. So we're going to go click on our audio here, and now this turns blank and white. Well, it's not really blank and white. It's actually going to show us the waveform.
Video. Alright, so...
I can hear myself recorded.
Let's get this set up, shall we? There's an EDA trick. And then we will try and record a how-to video. And run profile in 3, 2, 1.
Pause. So, that is the exact moment in the audio where I hit the button on the video that I just showed you down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this button here. And this is our zone start. That's our endpoint. And we're going to go ahead and just drag this all the way to the end. And set the end to be our out point. Now we're going to just click up here in this white space. See how it highlighted the bar here in all blue? That is our current selection. We're going to grab this, drag it down into our audio, and it should snap right to that line there. So when we go back to our project, we're going to have silence at the beginning here. And it should start recording, and the sound should line up right when the sound starts playing right here. So let's watch, shall we? Here it comes. Any second now.
Alright, here we go. Well, as promised, folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for you, because that last one ended rather awkwardly. And so here we go.
Alright, so you saw from the sound of the enter key being pressed and then the animation on screen that we are not quite lined up right. So we're going to go over here and use our mouse wheel to back up one frame at a time. You'll see the mouse wheel backs up there too. I'm going to back it up to right. Alright, that's the frame where things start moving across. We can zoom in on our timeline here. This little fuzz right there. So here we're at 1:02:26. I believe that's the enter key being pressed. Yep. So let's go back to, what did I say? 1:02 and some change. 26, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. Right. So we're going to just take this thing here. See that line right there? That's where we want our enter key to be pressed at. We're going to click this and back this up to right there where the enter key is being pressed. And right about there would be good. And zoom back out.
Through of EGA Trek for you.
And see how that lines up this time.
The last one ended rather awkwardly. And so here we go.
I might actually be a little bit ahead. So let's zoom in. If you look up here at the top, those little ticks and hash marks up there, those are actually individual frames. So we can take this and drag it back one frame. Alright, is that the direction I wanted to go? We're going to find out.
So here we go. You do not require a briefing. I am not returning a save game. This is Chrono Joel, your host, as usual. We'll try level 3 again. And self-destruct password is oops, because if we're self-destructing, we have done...
Alright, that's going to be good enough for me. I mean, it might not be exactly directly on, but I mean, we're talking fractions of a frame or difference here, so we're going to be pretty close. So, now we've got our video and our audio aligned, and you notice the video cuts off a little bit after the audio does, that's okay. Now we have these aligned, we don't want them to become unaligned. So we're going to click on this guy and control click on that guy. And we're going to right click and click on group clips. So now when I drag this guy around, it's going to drag his audio friend around with him. Pardon me. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, no, I did that wrong. We don't want to do that yet. We want to ungroup. First, we want to back our video up to our audio start, and it snaps to it nice and neatly. Yeah, when you get your mouse near the end here, you see that big green arrow that pops up? That allows you to drag the end of the clip back and forth up to its end, obviously. And it's actually dragging the cutoff point, not how you say... It's not dragging the content around. It's not like keeping the same endpoint and then moving the clip over. It's actually changing the cut point in the clip. So that actually shifts the end of the video back and cuts out video frames as opposed to shifting everything over. That probably doesn't make any sense, but you'll have to play with it when you're doing your own videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now we're going to select all these and group them. So now we have basically our entire thing together. Let me ungroup. I don't like where this is at. I don't want this in video 1 because the way that these videos work, it works in layers, just like in a graphic design program. Video 1 is on top, video 2 is under it, video 3 is under all of those. So if you want a video to play on top of this one, you're going to have a video slot above it open. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down to 2 and then group them together and then group them together. Alright, there we go. Now they move around together. So, but you say, Joel, it's not going to make a very good video if all that you're going to be able to see is this entire desktop and your game window is this teeny tiny little thing. Well, that's where the effects come in. We have a video effect called, in the crop and transform section, crop, scale, and position. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag this effect onto our video, and it pops up our crop, scale, and positions things here. So this is going to take a little bit of trial and error, but what we're going to do is we're going to crop the left side over till it hits about the edge of that window. And we're going to crop the right side over till it hits about the edge of that window. There-ish. And likewise at the top. And likewise at the bottom. So you're thinking, okay, well that's good. You've gotten rid of all the annoying desktop that's around it, but now it's still a big giant window or a little window in the middle of your video here, you know, even as we're playing through this. That's as big as it's going to be.
There are 3 to 4
well, this also scales, so the scale is kind of funky in this. It's really a trial and error process because we've got to scale it horizontally and vertically, but we've also got to tilt it. Now it's called tilt, but it's really position. We're going to tilt in the X and in the Y. So we kind of got to do this iteratively. Scale and tilt. See, we've scaled too much now. Our vertical is about right. But our X scale is too large. See, even though in DOSBox it played in a window that size, this game was designed to run on yield monitor. So, okay, see, that's what I mean when you have to this is kind of a trial and error thing. Because it scales based on the absolute 0, of the capture, not on what is not clipped out. So we'll keep messing with the scale. Scale on the X comes down, We gotta tilt the X back over. Okay, so now our scale is too small. We can use the mouse wheel to increase the scale. Oops. I may clip off the top a little more because we don't actually need to see our DOSBox bar right there. This is where having the proxy clip is really working against us. It is very muddy and it's very hard to see the details of what's going on, of how much we're clipping and how much we're not. Like, okay, so that's window, that's daylight, that's border, so we want to see just the blue. Clip bottom. Tilt Y. I need to see what I'm looking at down here. Clip bottom. Okay, so that's my background, so we want to drag that up until we just see the green over here. Now, likewise on the left side, we need to increase that clipping until we're right on the border like that. That'll be good. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so we still want to scale X a bit, but then we need to tilt it back and then scale it a bit more and then tilt it back and scale a bit more, tilt it back. Alright, that's a good size for our X. Now for our Y, we need to scale Y a bit more and then tilt it back. I'm just using the mouse wheels for this because it makes it a lot easier to go back and forth without having to click and drag and be imprecise like that. Scale Y, tilt. Alright, let's scale one more Y, tilt back. Alright, that's pretty darn close. We're going to go with that. So, now we took our teeny tiny itty window that was, you know, in the middle of a small portion of the screen. We've cropped out all around it and we've blown it up to basically fill the entire area on our VGA 640 by 480 display. That is really good. So, we will hit save. And we are going to save this in my LP folder, which I set up myself. I think you can right click over here to add shortcuts to where you want stuff to go. So quick shortcuts you can basically add over to the side. This is going to be in our 1RFs folder. And this will be Let's Play EGA Trek 2. Save. Alright. So, I've got my audio. I've got my video. But I don't have, I mean, I can guess I could just start it this way. Oops. I need to chop off the front of the video.
Alright, here we go.
What happened?
Well, as promised, folks.
Okay. So, you saw there was a bit of a screw up there, because when we started this video, I guess it wasn't really a screw up, just an oversight, really, on my part. We started this video, we saw that. So we're going to actually start this there-ish. Can I grab this now and pull it there? Yes, we can. So what does that sound like, though?
Well, as promised, folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for you.
Luckily, I had started talking the video
rather awkwardly
before I'd finished positioning the video.
So here we go.
So, yeah,
You know,
hooray.
briefing.
Okay, so as I was saying, we've got our video and our audio lined up, and we've got it scaled and cropped to the way we want it. So, we could just say, our video's done, hooray. But one important thing about making videos on YouTube is branding, and there's a whole lot more features I want to show you about this. So we're going to actually drag this off over here a little bit. We're going to zoom out so that our time scales here make a little more sense. That's probably too much. Yeah, that's too much. So that's 6 minutes, that's 13 minutes, that's 20 minutes. At the beginning here, we're going to add some more clips. I have previously prepared for my use in all of my videos Go to my home folder, and then to my KDEnLive folder, I think. I have this one called the Epic Intro. We'll drag that over here. That itself was created using KDEnLive, but I just wanted a, you know, quick and dirty thing that I could drag into all my videos now by my intro. So we're going to take that Epic Intro, put it in right here. You see how teeny tiny it is based on the scale. So we're going to zoom in a bit more and drag this back over so that they're meshing nice and neat with each other, playing nice together, having fun, having a good time. Okay, the Epic Intro is 8 seconds, and it looks like this. Now, there's a nice big black section there. The reason that big black section is there is because that gives me room to put a title clip in. A title clip and a title picture. I've got this frame right here. So we're going to right click here, and there's a cool nifty feature that says extract frame. And extract frame allows me to, I've already got one, but we'll do it again, just for sake of argument. Call it EGA Trek Title 2. That dumps your current frame to a picture file. So now we can go back to our file manager and go to the one-offs folder, and there it is. That's what it looks like. So we'll drag that over here into our tools, pick it up, drop it in right here. So now, when this goes by, it shows us that picture, which looks really, really nasty.
Well, as promised, folks.
This video might not work because of reasons. Oh no, this could be terrible. How can it be? Hopefully that didn't. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that one and use the old one. Because that one is a lot clearer. Because it's 1920 by 1080. Why is this one so muddy? Oh, because it's only 640 by 480. That shouldn't matter, but it still looked really muddy and dirty. Might have looked really muddy and dirty because this actual window frame here might be larger on my screen than 640 by 480, so it was stretched and all gross and nasty. Get rid of you. So yeah, now that's nice and clear. I'll drag that over here. Alright, I may have to change my project settings to be higher definition. We'll see. Okay, so that just pops in though, and that's kind of annoying. And then it just pops out.
Well,
back to this.
Promised, folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for you because.
Okay, I gotta check and see if this looks that bad or not. On Proxy. Okay, so it looks pretty nasty still. Also, my clipping size is wrong. You see that? See that? That's not good. It was perfectly clear when I recorded it. I don't know why it looks so bad here. What if we blow it up? That's not what I wanted to do. Hey, hold please. Go back. Can I full screen that? Okay, you know what? We're not going to worry about it right now. I can fix it later. This is the tutorial. So that looks all nice and pretty. That looks all nice and pretty. But notice how it pops in there. And we don't want it to just pop in and pop out. So while I've got this non-proxy clip going, let me adjust our crop and position. So we need to crop a little more on the right side. And on the left side. Top and bottom look okay, so that means we're going to have to scale in the X and tilt in the X again. Yeah, so proxy clips are not the be-all end-all solution. You've got to kind of clean up behind them and make sure everything is working correctly the way it should. What am I doing? Scale. Alright, we're gonna do a test render in a minute to make sure it doesn't look that terrible. And if it does, we're gonna go and change our project settings. In the meantime, let's save, just in case. And so, as I've been trying to say the last couple of times, we got this nice intro clip, and then this just pops out of nowhere. And that's kind of jarring for the viewer, and then it pops back.
Well, as promised, folks,
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of cool nifty tricks to this. I'm going to go to our effects list, and we'll just do a simple fade. We got a fade section right here. We'll make it fade from black. And that fade is going to be 1 second long. And you notice it changed this cool little angle doohickey dealy there. And then I also wanted to fade out. So we will fade to black. And we'll also do a 1 second fade to black. Now, I kind of want a 1 second fade in on this too. So I could go back to the effects list and just drag that in and adjust it like it did from here. We've got our effects list for this title. So we can just kind of drag this guy on there and drag it over to that guy. And it copies the exact same effect over onto this on top of the crop, scale, and position one. Let me uncheck that. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that on a render to see if that looks terrible. Because if it does, I'm going to have to alter it. It shouldn't look terrible. I mean, it was recorded in high quality, but whatevs. Okay, so now we come back over here. It might chug a little bit. But now I got that nice fade in and a nice fade out. And this fades in nice too.
Folks,
Isn't that pretty?
Do another playthrough of EGA Trek.
Now it almost looks like a professional. Except that it's muddy as all get out. That is really bothering me. I am sorry. But there's more we need to do. Remember how I said about these video layers being layers? I realized just now after I got this together that I need another layer on top of this for my title. So we can just drag that down to there and that down to there. That's not going to affect the flow of anything because all their endings are at the start of this one. So it's all going to look the same.
Well,
just like that. What we're going to do now is right click in this area and add a title clip. Title clip sounds like what you think it would sound like. It's a clip for putting text on top of stuff. I can click show background here. It says shows that frame, and I can go put some text on here. So we're gonna put a text box right over here. It's gonna say let's play. Yeah, okay, I gotta alter my okay, we're gonna cancel this. We're gonna alter the project settings here because this is not kosher or nice or good at all. Project settings. This should not affect anything, but obviously it is, so we're gonna jack it back up to 1080p 30. Say OK. Changing profile of your projects cannot be undone. Recommended to save your project before attempting this. Offers might cause some corruption and transition. Okay, so that's one thing. If you've got transitions between clips and stuff like that, and you decide to change your clip settings, it will screw up timings, especially if you change the frame rate. And that's probably going to screw up my alignment of my audio. We'll see. Yeah, notice how everything's spaced. Oh, now it's nice and clear. Look at that. Piece of junk. That is weird. That is very odd, I say. I'll say. Okay. So now we're in a widescreen format. I'm going to redo our scaling. Let's make sure our audio still lines up properly, shall we?
Well, as promised, folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for you because that last one ended rather awkwardly. And so here we go.
Okay, good. The audio still lines up.
Not required.
That makes me happy. Alright, so let us go back to this, to our effects list here. What? Oh, nice. When we clicked on that, it actually screwed up our crop scale and position stuff too. Alright, so this is why we want to change all that jazz. So, oh, that's the scale I'm messing with. Oops, I wanted to mess with the tilt. Tilt X back all the way over this way. It's going to take a while, so we'll drag. Okay, so now we've got a square screen and a widescreen thing, and it looks kind of doofy and goofy, so we're going to make this widescreen since we kind of played in widescreen anyway. More tilt. More crop. Good God, how much we got crop up here? Okay, a lot. Okay, that's our top crop. That's our bottom crop. Bottom crop probably got to come up a lot too. Alright, tilt Y, we'll want to come down some. Now we're going to crop more on the bottom. That looks good. Now we got to crop left and right a lot more. That looks good. Tilt the X back this way. Scale Y a little more. Tilt the X back this way. Scale the X. Tilt the X. The numbers here represent pixels. So when we went from 640 by 480 to 1280 by 1024, the number of pixels that we had to tilt and crop increased a lot. So we want to, let's go ahead and get our cropping on the right more proper. Right there. Now we want to scale X and tilt X and scale X. Scale, I think, is a percentage, whereas everything else is a pixel count. Alright, we got nice black borders all the way around there, so we're going to go with that. Everything is nice and legible still, so we'll mash save. And now we're going to create that clip. Where's it at? Add title clip. So we show background now. Now we see it nice and clear. We click over here. Notice our text is a lot smaller. That is because it is sized in pixels, and now there's more pixels on screen. So let's go click off of that. We can drag it around. We can rotate it about the X. Is that what we want? No. That's pretty cool. You can rotate it all the way around like that. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? We want that to be 0. Rotate Y is probably also going to be not what we want. Yeah, that's not what we want either. That was pretty cool, though. 0, minus 360 to plus 360. I haven't played around completely with this. The Z is actually the one I wanted. And we're going to rotate it like that. And then we're going to move it. So, it's going to pop up this title here. We're going to add another one. Add the text box with Joel. It needs to be rotated in the Z direction the other way. And I actually need to edit that because that needs to be on 2 lines. Possibly 3 lines. This looks terrible. I'll be honest with you, that looks awful. What's this one's rotation? Minus 34. So this one should be positive 34. Just to make it nice and symmetrical in the same angle. You know what? We're not going to do that. I changed my mind. Make that 0. Put this on 2 lines. Make this 0. Move it over here. Put it on 2 lines. And put it down here. That looks good. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Alright. So we're going to say okay to that. That's our title clip. If you look over here in the thumbnail, or if you pull it up, that's all the title clip looks like. It is depending on what it's put on top of for its background. So we're going to drag that right up there. And it automatically adds this affine transition. And what that basically means is it combines the top through a transparency channel with what's under it. So we end up with this nice pretty looking thing here. Alright. That wasn't supposed to look like that nasty.
Folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for...
Alright, so now we're back to chugging because we're at high resolution. So we're going to turn our Proxy Clips back on. Oh god, I hope it's not going to make a whole new Proxy Clip, is it? Oh. Are they disabled again since I changed the project settings? I bet they are. It might have to recompute another Proxy Clip, but that'd be okay. Project settings. No, it's checked. It's not wanting to do that. That is weird. Alright, whatever. We're gonna have to live without, because we're almost done, honestly. That is the last thing I wanted to do on this. Except for one thing. You notice as we scrub through this, as soon as this starts, my title clip is already in there, bright in all of its glory. And even though this is fading out at the end, it's still there, bright in all its glory. So, you can do the same thing with transitions on videos and pictures that you can with title clips. So we're going to put a fade from black, drag that up there. And then click back on this and do the fade to black. Put that up on there. And now it all comes in at the exact same rate. We've got our nice title clip there. And it just slowly disappears. And this guy starts off nice and good. Let me make sure the end of this cuts off where I want it to.
It remains shareware. In this day and age, it really means freeware, because...
See, this is what it does when you don't have a proxy
You
clip.
can send the guy money if you want, but I don't think he's going to give you anything for it anymore. So, I'm Chrono Joel, Captain of the USS of Lexington, signing off, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Alright, so... we can cut a decent bit of this off. Cut that to like right there. So now we've got a 24.5 minute long thing. I've got my cool intro in here with the proper branding that I like, which would be that clip there.
Well, as promised, folks, I was going to do another playthrough of EGA Trek for you, because
Right.
the last one ended rather awkward.
So that's it. We're done building our project. This is ready to be rendered and go up on the internet. Rendering. Rendering is the process by which you take your project and make it into one file. That's on that button right there. We are going to render for websites. I I have my own custom-made YouTube 1080p profile. It does not come with a 1080p profile. It comes up with a 720p profile. You can use that for most of your videos, I'm sure. If you do want to see what that is, you can go to Edit Profile, and this is, I'll try and copy paste this into the video. You just, to create this profile from scratch, you're going to go to that button there, no, that button there, create new profile, and fill out all this crap, and then you just paste that in and hit OK, and that is creates a rendering profile. It looks just like that, YouTube 1080p. So we're going to change where we're going to put this. This is going to be our one-offs. This is going to be our Let's Play EGA Trick 1. But it's not 1, it's number 2. We're going to say OK. Important for you to do, you've got at least a dual-core computer. You want to make sure encoder threads is set to 2. I have a quad-core computer, so I have 4 threads. That will decrease the amount of time it takes to render your file out, because this will take probably an hour to render. So let me go ahead and hit render a file, and off it goes. It's going to render the entire project, and when it's done, it'll be ready to put up on YouTube. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for those starting out at the beginning, especially my friend. If you got any questions, leave some in the comments. I'll be sure to respond to them. If need be, I will make a follow-up video of probably equally confusing level. We had to do some playing around in this one to try and get it to do what we wanted it to do, but that's okay. So please share this with your friends, and share my channel with the friends, because we're looking to grow the audience. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.